Hey, what's up YouTube? And today I want to talk about one of the coolest things Ibanez has put out that I've ever seen. Let's talk about it. I am getting ready to graduate from college. You know what that means? And it's an excuse to buy a new guitar, right? So I bought this guitar to celebrate graduation, and I love it. This isn't my first headless guitar. I usually play a Strandberg. I have the Saline Deluxe, and I absolutely love it. So when I saw Ibanez offering a headless guitar under $1,000, I was like, oh, okay, I'll check it out. So I went to my local Guitar Center, and I don't know if you know this, but if you're a veteran, you can get 10% off. So for all my veterans watching, if you go to Guitar Center, you get 10% off. So this one retails like, I think it's $9.99, and I got it for 10% off, and then the store owner hooked me up. So I believe I paid $850 out the door for this. And for $850, this is one hell of a guitar. Honestly, for $9.99, $1,000, this is still one hell of a guitar. For me, I love headless design guitars. They're super ergonomic, they're super comfortable. I come from the world of playing in theater and country where my shows are like a minimum 3 hours long. Let me just say, a 3-hour-long show with a guitar that weighs 5 pounds is a lot better than a 10-pound Les Paul. And I know because I used to do my Les Paul all the time before I got my headless telly. So, but to focus on this guitar, honestly, the TLDR is that this is an amazing, like, bargain. Especially for the cost, you just get so much performance out of the guitar. So some of the things that stood out to me is, one, Ibanez is always known for making, like, the shreddy boy guitar. So when they were getting into the headless game, I was all about it because I love headless guitars. They're super ergonomic, they're just fun to play, they're really light. And it's honestly a new innovation to an instrument that's only been around since like the 50s. So I know people will say like, well, Steinberg did it in the 80s, but you know, no one really took off with it except for Alan Holdsworth. I feel like headless guitars are having their peak right now. So some of the things I really enjoy about this guitar is, one, the body is really comfortable. With the Strandberg Bowden series, I've owned 3 and I currently own 0 because I just feel like there's not enough wood there to make it comfortable, you know? This one really strikes like a good balance of having enough wood where you're like, yeah, this is kind of like an Ibanez, but not, you know, it's not leaving you naked, if that makes sense. The neck is also super comfortable. This is a Wizard C neck. I'll say this neck is not like my Wizard 3 on my Ibanez Genesis. It's kind of like that Goldilocks zone. It's not thin, but it's not super thick. It's that in-between of just like really comfortable. I mean, it's an Ibanez neck. You know it's gonna be comfortable. It's gonna be made to be played. It's a 12-inch radius with stainless steel frets. The only thing that I have changed stock on this guitar is the nut. It comes stock with a plastic nut. I had a friend install a bowl nut for me, and it's been fantastic. The pickups are like insane. Lately I've been getting into the Fishman pickups, especially their single coil stuff. I would say that these are pretty dang close to a Fishman set. There's a switch down here, so you get a 5-way pickup selector. It does all the typical Ibanez things, but then you can do coil tap. And I'll play you some tones here in a second after I'm done talking about the guitar, but I will just say that if you want one guitar that can do a little bit of everything, plus have like its own distinct voice, Ibanez really knocked it out with these pickups. I don't feel the need to upgrade these pickups. I feel like these pickups are good enough to do anything from country to metal to math rock to anything that I want to do as an artist. This guitar can handle it. The neck for me is really the standout. I told you, you know, it's kind of like that Goldilocks zone, but you have roasted maple. I believe you say this Bubinga, and then roasted maple in the outer, so you get a 3-piece neck. You get a roasted bird's eye maple fretboard, and it's absolutely beautiful. Satin finish on everything. I will say that if you're someone who doesn't like, you know, the time you spent with a guitar to be shown on the fretboard, you might want to stay away from this one. But if you're like me and you're like, oh yeah, that's me earning my stripes, this guitar is already showing wear, and I've had it for, I guess, 2 months, 3 months now. But I play all the time, so don't think that that's like, it's going to show immediately. It has lumen dot inlays on the top. This is super nice whenever you're playing in a dark environment. Like I was a theater musician playing in the pit, and it's just one of those things that's really nice to have. And once you have it, it's kind of hard to go into an environment where you don't have it, because it's just nice to look down and see it. Oh yeah, you know. But anyways, I feel like if Ibanez and Strandberg would just like put their two heads together, they could honestly make the perfect bridge. This one's pretty dang close, but I will say that I prefer changing strings on the Strandberg, but I enjoy these tuners way better on the Ibanez. They are just like so smooth. It feels like the telly, if you're a telly player, it feels like, you know, your volume knob here, same feel to it, honestly. And I'm a telly guy, so that's a big sell. The locking system is pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. The way that this one does work though is that whenever you loosen it all the way, there's like this little catch mechanism. You just put the ball in there, tighten it up, then string it up. I will say that it took me a little bit of time to get used to this versus the Strandberg. You just put the string through here, locks in, tighten down. That's it. But what I really liked about the Ibanez is, you know, I set this up myself, and it was so easy to get the adjustments correct here, set the intonation back here. It was just super easy to work on. So I think Ibanez really knocked it out. And to be honest, I'm sure that this system is going to become more familiar with me the more that I use it. I've only changed the strings on it like a few times now. It's not really that big of an issue. I just want you to know kind of like the smaller details if you decide to get this guitar yourself. Everything's a satin finish. I prefer that. It's going to age well, kind of like a Gibson. And it just sounds really good. So let's we're gonna transition now. I'm gonna play just a couple of pieces so you can kind of hear it in a clean setting and then a high gain setting. So starting off, right now I'm in the bridge pickup position, so we're right here and this is down. Position 2. Middle position. Four. Lastly, the neck. Now, let me show you some of my favorite positions. So I'm in position 4 with the middle way switch up. Switch down. I will say this, if you get the opportunity to play one, try it out, man. They're really cool guitars. I think they're well balanced. I love the color. Green and blue are my two favorite colors, so to see this in this beautiful satin blue with the roasted maple, it's just such a pretty guitar. I really enjoy it. The pickups are amazing. The neck, again, it's not like a traditional shreddy Ibanez neck. I would say that it almost reminds me of my Les Paul. I feel like my Les Paul fits my hand a little bit better, but it's like in that vein of like almost a really chunky neck, but it's still slim. It's really weird to explain. This is the only neck I've ever played that's like this, and that's ultimately why I got it, right? Because as guitar players, we're neck players. And I feel like on this neck, I play very clean, very punctual, but also very soulful. This is like the guitar that I will take out to local gigs without worrying about it being stolen or damaged. You know, this thing is, all headless guitars are super durable. This one is no exception. So all in all, like, I think this guitar is probably an 8 out of 10, if not a 9 out of 10. I just think it's an amazing value proposition. Good, you know, kudos to Ibanez for making one heck of a guitar at a really good price point. I'm sure you could probably get these used for even less, but if you have the opportunity to snag one, get it. Hey, if you enjoyed today's content, please make sure to, you know, gently fondle that subscribe button and the like button. That really helps my videos out. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters for making these videos possible. If you're interested in supporting the channel, consider joining our Patreon. There's a lot of guitar content over there, and I would greatly appreciate the support. So if you watched this far, I want to know 1 or 2 things you're grateful for in the comment section. For me, I'm grateful you're here. I'm grateful that I get an opportunity to share my passions with the world, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.